tag team champions like the Hart Foundation or the Legion of Doom.
Yes, Eugene.
Or Chuck and Billy.
Eugene, that's right, just like the... Eugene, now that's enough. If you're going to be a champion, you've got to start behaving like one.
Yo, am I interrupting something?
No, not at all. Young Master Eugene here was just getting a wee bit overexcited about our recent World Tag Team title victory. Isn't that right, Eugene?
Yeah, congratulations. I hear you got a title defense against Edge and Christian at Taboo Tuesday. Good luck with that.
And to you as well in your match against Christian tonight. He's more of a pillock than ever, now that he and Edge have reunited.
No kidding. Watch yourself out there tonight against Edge.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Eugene.
Like Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik, Iran #1, USA, hach to it.
Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2006, and we've just finished the Legends Tour, but this is essentially the start of our real Raw season mode, in my opinion. I mean, this Legends storyline is kind of the first one that activates depending on who you pick. John Cena is one of those guys where you pick them and they are the Legends Tour. I'm not even the biggest John Cena fan to play as in this game. Like, he's not bad or anything like that. But in all honesty, I just picked him because I wanted to do that storyline, and I didn't feel like looking up who you can actually play as for the storyline. But we're still going to continue the Raw storyline with John Cena here. And now we're moving on to the very special story that involves Eugene here. And two things from that cutscene that I always take away. One, sad we have to live with it in our modern society, but I mean, Iron Sheik really was the original Hawk Tua guy, you know? I still remember one of my favorite promos. It wasn't even an actual promo, it was an outtake, is when it was like some sort of turkey tournament or whatever with the Iron Sheik, and he was doing an interview with Mean Gene, and for some reason there was a turkey inside like a cage right in front of them. And I don't know, he just kind of went off on some sort of tangent, like ignoring the entirety of the tournament, saying he just hated Hulk Hogan. And he said that the turkey reminded him of Hulk Hogan, and he just spat on it, I guess. And they had to stop because Mean Gene ended up bursting out laughing. So, I mean, that's hilarious. Iron Sheik is a hilarious guy, all things considered. He's nuts, but he is funny. I'll give him that. That said, also, when it comes to the title designs, both of these tag titles around this era, I wouldn't say they're underrated, but there is a bit of a charm to these belt designs for the tag titles. So apparently the Raw ones are the World Tag titles, and I believe those are the ones that like had the, the original, like they're like the ones from like the 80s and 90s and so on and so forth. And then the WWE ones were the ones that were created specifically for SmackDown, and I believe they had like the unique lineage and stuff like that. And I think Paul London and Brian Kendrick for the longest time were the people that had the team that had the longest reign with the SmackDown titles. And then obviously the Demolition, before New Day broke that record, they were the ones who held the longest reign with the World Tag Team titles. So there's a little bit of trivia for you. But I think I could be wrong. And like, it's so weird because they're not even like the World Tag titles now, I think it's like they're the Raw and the SmackDown tag titles. And I think somehow the lineage isn't reset on those titles, which I don't know. Like, to me, it's like, okay, they're tag titles, but it's like overall, like they all kind of have the same lineage in a way to me. Like, as far as like length of reigns, like I'd just say combine them all together. But it seems like somehow the Raw ones represent a specific title, which I think was the World one, kind of like how they were on this show, and then there was the SmackDown ones represent the WWE lineage as well from like back at this time. But like, I don't know, it's kind of confusing for me. But I don't know, I do like the designs. I do like how they incorporated the colors of the brands into the designs, and it made sense at first as well, because obviously the Raw had the World Heavyweight title, and then SmackDown had the WWE titles, and it kind of got weird when they swapped the belts, and kind of all due to this man right here. John Cena. But I don't know. I was at another rated design. I think is speaking of John Cena, stupid ref. I actually like the Jeez, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the WWE spinner belt design a lot. I know that is not popular for a lot of people, and I get it. It does look like a toy, but I think that's why it was so popular with kids and stuff like that. I honestly didn't think it looked that bad on the majority of people. With people like CM Punk, yeah, it did look goofy because of how big and oversized it was. But like with people like Sheamus or like Randy Orton, I didn't think it looked that ridiculous. But I do agree. I think it would have been a lot more special overall, as much as I like the title design more than the undisputed WWE title design that like Brock Lesnar had. I do think it would have been more special if it was just exclusive to John Cena. And that said, I also do, as simple as it is, because I do love the Rated R Superstar Edge design belt. And I know he's bummed out about saying like he designed the belt himself, and as far as the drawing and all this other stuff. But I mean, it's amazing how all they did was just change the center spinner plate to a Rated R symbol, and I mean, people love the hell out of that belt, and it is a pretty cool belt. My brother, whose name is also coincidentally Christian, that's like one of his favorite belt designs.
I don't think if there's the submission, there might not be any way out of it. There better be, or we're gonna see a tap out right here.
And also, you may notice that this video is a little bit longer. That's because in the SmackDown ones, I kind of just went from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. This time, I decided to just, do things a little differently. I'm just kind of encompassing the entirety of the, storyline, rather than, just like pay-per-view to pay-per-view. So we're going to have some Taboo Tuesday action, which is kind of cool, but then we're also going to have some Survivor Series action. But I know a lot of people are big fans of the Winged Eagle, and yeah, I mean, when you look at that thing, it's not just the center plate. I mean, you look at just how beautiful, the side plates are, the design, the shape of the belt. I mean, I can understand why people love it. The logos, like the WWF logo at the time was so amazing too, to just look at. I think it was like the block logo or whatever. That was an awesome one, and it looked so great on that belt, on the side plates. And it looked like there was so much care and effort put into it. It's not my favorite belt, but I definitely 100% understand why people love it. But I don't know. Once again, I'm just gonna reiterate. I think they should have, I think the idea with even like the Rated R Superstar belt was like anytime somebody new won the title, they were gonna get to have their own custom, center plate put in. Which now we have like the side pieces for those belts. So I don't know why they didn't want to do that at the time. I'm assuming maybe like money or laziness, or they just maybe WWE management didn't like how the Rated R belt looked or whatever. But I guess that was the point. Like, so Randy Orton, theoretically, when he won the belt, maybe he would have had like his own like a logo to, describe, to kind of show off that like this is his belt now. Maybe it's because Randy Orton didn't have much of a logo at the time or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. I do agree with the consensus, as much as I like that belt, that it should have went back to the undisputed title design, because I feel like I like that design, but I feel like it never got as much of a chance to shine, and it was honestly, it wasn't the best design. I still think that the Winged Eagle and the World Heavyweight title from WCW and all that sort of stuff was better. But I think it never, probably a big part of that is it never really got a good time to shine. Personally, anyway. And I don't know, for people who want to bring back old designs, it's like, I get it, but like, I like to have the nostalgia in the past, when it was like, represents an actual era in a company, rather than, oh, let's bring it back because I like this design. Like, the Winged Eagle design kind of just would, I don't think it would really fit in today's environment. And then, if you have champions you don't like, or don't deserve the belt, it's like, you're ruining the legacy.
using the ropes. The ref doesn't see it. And damn it, neither does Eugene. Eugene's completely distracted as usual. But this is one time I don't blame him. The match is over. What's Edge trying to prove here? Isn't it obvious, JR? Edge is trying to soften up William Regal for their tag team championship match at Taboo Tuesday. How sharp do you have to be to take advantage of poor Eugene? There you go, JR. He broke the hold. What are you so upset about? Yeah, he broke the damn hold, but he might have broken Regal's back. All's fair in love and title chases, JR. So, despite the injury to William Regal, the tag titles will be on the line tomorrow night at Taboo Tuesday.
I don't know about this, William.
Please, you've got to reconsider. Eugene's uncle, Eric Bischoff, has a history of trying to crush Eugene's spirits. Eugene loves his title more than life itself, and the fact that I can't defend my half is a perfect excuse for him to strip us of our titles and hurt Eugene again.
But filling in for you as a tag team champion? That's a huge responsibility.
If you don't do this, you might as well hand the titles to those miserable toe rags, Edge and Christian. I don't know about you, but I refuse to reward those two with a championship for crippling their opponents. That'd hardly be sporting, would it?
Yeah, but...
You faced Christian last week. Tonight, it's you versus Edge. You've scouted both men, and our title defense is tomorrow night at Taboo Tuesday. You're the only one who can help us.
Okay. All right. I'll do it.
There's a top man. Thank you. Eugene, you make sure you accompany him to ringside tonight, and pay no attention to that scrubber Trish Stratus. Don't allow her to distract you from the matter at hand.
Despite the injury to William Regal, the tag titles will be on the line tomorrow night at Taboo Tuesday. That's if Regal's replacement makes it through his match tonight against Edge.
Alright, well, as you can see, you know, Eugene, he freaking got distracted by the looks of Trish Stratus. And let's be honest, we all know how Eugene is. You know, that's part of the storyline, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Like, I wouldn't, you don't have to be in the mental state of, you don't have to have that, I can't freaking talk. But when can I ever? But anyway, you don't have to have the mental state of Eugene to be distracted by Trish Stratus. So you know what? I don't blame him. I think we can all agree on that one. But yeah, also another thing, I mean, like, how the hell, like, I kind of get it at first, but how the hell did the ref not notice, like, very quickly that Edge was using the rope to apply, you know, his sideways sharpshooter move or whatever to William Regal? Like, I don't know, like, the refs are pretty stupid around, you know, in the WWE, but, man, I mean, that's kind of going a little overboard. I also find it interesting, like, I actually asked this about, because I couldn't remember back to this time, right? And I actually asked this back in my Day of Reckoning 2 video, and somebody told me that, because I asked about, like, hey, did Edge and Christian reunite at this time? Because both guys, you know, in both games at this time, they were in a team, and I believe Trish Stratus, I think she's less involved in Day of Reckoning. I can't remember. I literally just played it and stuff like that, you know, a few months ago. But of course, I had terrible memory issues. But I asked him, like, hey, was this an actual team at the time? And like, I knew that, like, you know, Trish and Christian, you know, obviously after WrestleMania 20 had like a thing together with managerial stuff and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, both games use you know, this team of, like, you know, the three Canadians and stuff like that, and the old Edge and Christian reuniting and being a team and all this other stuff. So I don't know, I just find that interesting that I know they were developed by the same company and stuff like that, but it was just odd to me. But it's probably more than likely just due to the lack of tag teams at this time.
I don't understand how these fans can boo Edge, JR. They've got no respect for everything he's done for them. Oh, you're full of it, King. These fans,
man, look at Eugene in the back cheering me on. What a guy.
Edge doesn't give a damn He's not going to get caught with that
I
one.
remember as a kid, I always liked to just play as like managers in the game, but I was always upset that I couldn't like do that pose that they do. Like, I don't even think it's pose, it's just where they put their hands on the apron and they cheer their, people on and stuff like that. And I was always upset by it just because I thought it was authentic and stuff like that, because I don't know. I got a very childish mindset.
Well, from the looks of things,
Well, especially at the time I was a kid.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match.
Ooh, he thought he had me.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you
Alright, I weared him down, or wore him down. I think, so as long as Trish does not go on the apron, I think I might actually have him here. Let's actually turn the difficulty down to hard. Yep. Here we go. Alright, I told Eugene to like do something, and I guess he just gave me a chair, so I can't really use it. But I don't know, he's trying, guys, he's trying.
I wonder how far these superstars are willing to go to get the win here tonight.
But yeah, I ended up turning down the difficulty down to hard just because, like I didn't want matches to take forever like it did in the Legends Tour. And a big part of what takes so long isn't the fact of like they're just so hard that, you can't damage them or anything like that. It's just hard in the sense of like when you want to put them away, it takes 20 extra minutes to do it rather than, because they'll just keep reversing your finisher and you can't really put them out otherwise. Alright, here we go. The 5-knuckle shuffle. I find it interesting that they never actually changed the name of that when he, John Cena went full PG and stuff like that. Which, I don't know. I think some of those terms, I make fun of those, like the British terms, like from Conker's Bad Fur Day, like in my reviews and stupid stuff like that, like beef curtains and welly top and stupid stuff like that, because it just sounds funny. But like the Americanized ones are just kind of like, just kind of lame sounding. Those weird slangs, like 5-knuckle shuffle. Like, if you don't know, it's just the term for masturbating. It's like, I guess it kind of sounds cool in a way, but I don't know. I just think it sounds lame.
Hey, you can't do that to the diva of the decade. I'm sure he'd prefer not to, but she has no right to lead Eugene on like she's been doing.
Trish, look out! Oh my gosh, look at what he just did to Trish!
You mean look at what Edge just did to Trish? If I didn't know better, I'd say Eugene seems more concerned about Trish Stratus than his own partner.
Can you blame him, JR? I should go down there and see if Trish needs mouth-to-mouth, and maybe some CPR.
Everything went perfectly last week. Trish, for a moment, I thought you were actually hurt.
Hey, I'm the WWE Women's Champion. I'm tougher than I look. And if you boys stick with the plan, you'll be the World Tag Team Champions, and we'll all be wearing gold when we leave here tonight.
Yeah, now all we have to do is take that dunce Eugene out of the picture, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, he's not exactly a rocket scientist, I'd be surprised if he could lace up his own boots. And ugly. Man, the toughest part of the match will be having to look at him up close.
Hello. I'm sorry you got hurt yesterday, Trish. Are you okay?
Yes, thank you. That's very sweet, Eugene. But you don't have to apologize. It wasn't your fault.
Actually, Eugene, if anyone's got to apologize, it's me. I'm sorry I accidentally hurt William Regal 2 weeks ago. I didn't realize he tapped out. I didn't expect him to give up so easily. Guess he's not as tough as I thought he was, eh?
Yeah, but you know who should be apologizing? Your so-called friend for hitting poor Trish last night. Is that the kind of partner you want? Is that the kind of person you consider a friend, Eugene? Someone who hits girls from behind?
No.
I'd like to be your friend, Eugene. Would you like to be friends with little old me?
Yeah.
Good boy. Now come with me. I've got something to discuss with you.
I don't believe it. How
How could Trish even stand to be around that Eugene? She has a heart of gold, that's for sure. If that Jezebel has a heart, it's fool's gold, if you ask me. No good's going to come of this. I can guarantee you that.
Jeez. Those damn Canadians, man. No wonder everybody hates Canadians. Eh? That's why South Park makes fun of them all the time. They're nothing but despicable, disgusting human beings, if I have to say so. Look at that Christian's face. Somebody should put a blue dot on that to cover it. It's so ugly. Speaking of Christian, though, I mean, it's so annoying. I mentioned this before, but it's so annoying. They did in the Day of Reckoning too, because when he left the company, I guess like the logos he had on his, you know, on his tights or whatever, like he owned them somehow, which is I don't know how that works. I find it to be absolutely insane, considering he was in the WWE that literally owns everything, including like team names and gimmicks and stuff like that you like made a legacy off of. So I don't know. He must have like somehow worked it out with WWE where he was the owner or did it in secrecy or whatever, but yeah, so they took off his like C logos or whatever, and I don't know, it just bothers me because it looks so plain, and it's the dark blue color that really bothers me as well. Like, it's just so unflattering. I think it's like navy blue maybe. So I don't know. I mean, I think they should. Maybe some people would. Maybe it was the right decision, because I'm thinking, you know, why don't you just put some freaking just some generic C logos or something on his tights then, or something like that. You know, because it's not technically the design they owned, right? I don't know if they were worried about getting sued because it was too similar, or if it was something they just thought it would look better. I mean, and to their credit, I mean, like, when you add things, I guess people a lot of times they say, well, yeah, you know, they should have just left it blank or something like that. Like, you know, like people always talk about like a freaking Ron Simmons action figure where instead of being able to say damn on the toy because it was marketed to kids, it just says Farouk instead. And I don't know, like, is it a little goofy? Yeah, but I think people overreact with it as well and think it's like the weirdest, goofiest thing ever. Like, you're telling me you haven't seen like wrestlers with their names on their shirts, or like saying it's really all that bad or anything like that? It's like that terrible because it says Farouk instead of damn. Like, I get it, you know, there's supposed to be something else there, but I don't know. I think it's just a case of people overreacting. I think one of my favorite Edge designs is around this time where he had like the you know, the black tape around his hands and stuff like that, as well as the elbow pads. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, you can't see me, Christian, but apparently Edge can.
I'm not even going to hazard a guess, King. These superstars are so unpredictable.
But I don't know, he just stopped using that design for a while. I also, although I will say this, because I was making thumbnails and stuff like that, obviously, for this. I think that his Rated R Superstar attire, or not, jeez, I'm getting all sorts of confused this episode here. Sorry, folks, for all my stuttering and not being able to form competent sentences this episode. But what I'm trying to say is I think his hair, the way he styled it in 2006, when he kind of went on his like big heel run with the title and stuff like that, like I think that was probably the coolest his hair ever was at that point. Although WrestleMania 22, when he fought Mick Foley, I mean, he looked like freaking just straight up white trash at that time. Especially with like Lita coming down, he like had her, he was holding her hand the whole entire time, and he had like that weird vest on, I guess. I don't know. But that was a legendary match in and of itself. I think it was, they even had Mick Foley turn heel for a short while as well. Just because, based off of the respect they had, I guess. Alright, sweet. Look at how disappointed Christian was.
Just moments ago, you successfully managed to beat Edge and Christian single-handedly. But
Eric Bischoff has ruled that because of Eugene's absence, you forfeited the match. Therefore, Edge and Christian are the new World Tag Team Champions. I have to ask you, after that hard-fought match, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears you left in the ring, how does it feel to lose the World Tag Team titles and let William Regal down like that? How does it feel, Coach? How does it feel? How do you think it feels? Of course the deck was stacked against you when your partner Eugene decided not to show up for the match. What is your reaction to Eugene, well, dropping the ball?
Look, Eugene gets confused sometimes, and I'm not sure he had a good reason for showing up. I know what the tag titles mean to him, and we'll win them back at Survivor Series. My reaction is that it doesn't take a brain surgeon to remember to come to the ring for a title defense. Eugene doesn't deserve to hold the tag team titles, and I'm not even sure that Eugene deserves to stay on Raw after tonight.
Eugene, you must understand. Edge, Christian, and that trollop Trish Stratus are not your friends. They're trying to confuse you and take advantage of you.
But they said they were my friends. And Trish is so pretty. She wouldn't lie.
Look, Eugene, they took your tag team title last week after they convinced you not to show up for the match.
I know. I'm sharing the titles with them. Trish said they're my friends. And we had a great party last week after they won.
They're not your friends. They've already hurt me, and they will not hesitate to hurt either of you two as well if you're not careful.
Look, I've got a no disqualification match against Christian tonight. I'm sure Edge is going to be ringside with him. Eugene, I need you to come down to the ring with me. And if you don't, they'll gang up on me. Do you understand?
Good boy, Eugene. Now you two had better get ready. I'm going to speak with your Uncle Eric about arranging a tag title rematch at Survivor Series.
Boy, I tell you, JR, Eugene's about as dumb as a bag of hammers. I feel terrible for that poor young man. I hope someone gets through to him somehow.
You can tell the developers of this game had a lot of fun with Eugene. Although that said, I mean, when you look at those polygons on Trish, I mean, can you really blame him? But yeah, I don't know. Like, this is a weird storyline in my opinion. Like, he was cool with us having, swapping the belts, but now, like, when I win him back, that has to go to the other tag team. Like, come on, Eric Bischoff. Like, Eric Bischoff always just had something against his nephew for whatever reason. It just showed how much of a heel he is to his poor nephew to take away his beloved titles. I don't know, do you guys think that Christian could have been a main eventer around this time? Because, I don't know, I think he definitely had like a little feud with John Cena around this time before he left the company in 2005. Apparently, according to Bruce Prichard, he said that it was because he didn't get a shot at the main event sooner because he refused to cut his hair, I guess. And because he didn't do it at the time, it showed he didn't have real commitment at the time. I think it was like 2002 they wanted him to cut his hair, and he just said, nah. And you had to, like, give it to him. I mean, why the hell? Like, I think it was Test, Christian. I think there was somebody else at the time who had, like, long hair that they asked to cut their hair, and, like, they just said they didn't want to. And, Bruce Prichard says, yeah, I don't understand why people have such a connection to, like, their hair and it'll grow back and all that stuff. Well, A, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, depending on their age and stuff like that. And B, I can tell you right now, it takes a long time, unless if you have like really good genetics or whatever. It takes a long time to grow out your hair. It's not something that happens overnight. So I don't blame these guys, and it's just more nonsense. But I don't know. I feel like Christian kind of needed to go away to TNA. Him and Jeff Hardy, I feel like, are two people that needed to kind of go away, and as Jim Ross would say, learn a new hold. As I think they were kind of getting that. Christian especially, I feel like he kind of, since they waited so long, I just don't think he had, what is Edge doing? But what I'm trying to say is I think like he kind of had that stink on him of just being a mid-carder, you know, that kind of happens when you're in a certain spot on the card for too long. Because like at least with Edge, yeah, I mean they were trying for freaking years, and I mean years, to get him in the main event spot. I think it was like since 2001 really, and you know it took like 4 years and stuff. So when he finally made it, it wasn't really like, it was kind of like a finally moment more than anything. But the Rated R Superstar stuff, it was about time like Edge finally got to show some real personality, because I mean he always had big personality and stuff like that, but like it was kind of felt very samey for the longest time, I feel like, where you know he'd crack a joke or whatever and it was funnier. But like when you're kind of used to that for years and years, that's kind of when you know, you had to kind of reinvent yourself if you want to kind of move on from something. That's my opinion, though. But it took Christian all the way till 2011 to win his world title, and they had a pretty good feud with that, with Randy Orton, and him losing it. I think it was 5 days after he won it, and he only won it with the help of Edge. But that was a pretty interesting storyline for what I remember. Apparently, I even heard something too where I think it was Todd Grisham. I can't remember who, but I think it was somebody like they were the announcer for ECW, like one of the not the ring announcer, the commentary team. That's what it is, yeah. And when Christian came back, apparently he was told specifically when Christian came out to sound as monotone and unenthusiastic about Christian returning as possible. And that's where you got the freaking meme of, you know, Christian returned to ECW and the big reaction. There's just a pause when he walks out, and then he just says, it's Christian. It's just so awesome. This is so stupid. But like they hear that apparently, according to him, that was actually something intentional. Like by Vince McMahon, like, you know, they said he didn't know if it was like a rib or if it was they wanted to kill his run or something like that. I don't know, but like, I don't know. I just find that to be so funny. Apparently, and honestly, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have heard that instead of going on ECW, there was like a storyline around that time in which Jeff Hardy, bad things kept happening to him. I think his house actually burned down and his dog died, which is very sad. Because like that was an actual real life event that happened to him. But then like they had, I don't know if that was actually the catalyst to start that storyline. Which is, if it is pretty messed up when you think about it. But, or I'm not sure if it was something along the lines of something where like it just happened to happen in the middle of that storyline. But like there was like, I remember Jeff Hardy was doing his entrance one time and a pyro went off in his face, which was obviously planned. And I feel like there was something else going on. Like I think it was, you know, combined with the fact he couldn't get a fair shot at the WWE title or something like that. And apparently the person who was supposed to be sabotaging him behind the scenes was actually Christian, and I think Edge was involved in that storyline as well as like the WWE champion, or maybe it was the World Heavyweight Championship. I can't remember at the time. And but they said it would be too predictable, I guess, so that's why Christian came out on ECW, and you know, he was kind of like the guy who led that brand for quite a while. I think he was like the longest reigning. I think he had held the title for like 10 months as ECW champion, the silver design, which I actually liked. Like I get why people don't really like the silver design, but I thought it kind of stood out. I think it was a pretty cool championship. But I don't know. I mean, I think it was kind of lame how he just he held it for that time, and then last episode of ECW in 2010, that's when he freaking lost the belt to Ezekiel Jackson, who he beat like 10 times at that point or something like that. Like, come on, just let poor Christian have that freaking accolade, man. I remember I didn't even watch that match at the time because it was like, all right, Christian's, of course he's going to win this. And he didn't. So, I mean, that was just so lame. But then, you know, obviously ECW got replaced with freaking NXT when it was the game show reality thing, or the reality game show or whatever. A lot of people hate that. I actually liked the first season. Once again, I was a kid, so that was probably why, but like, I actually kind of liked the things they did on there, and it was kind of interesting to see all the new characters getting introduced at once, and the little storylines they integrated into the show. I think having the pros there was kind of stupid though, but you know, I actually thought the competitions and stuff were entertaining. Especially, well, I was going to say Ryback, but Skip Sheffield, and he had those stupid sayings where he'd just say skiddly diddly do, what you gonna do? He was a character even back then, man. I mean, he had that, he had like the wild, he had like the cowboy vest on. I remember they even made like stupid jokes, like Daniel Bryan, like they had some competition where you had to do this obstacle course by running around the arena, and one of the things is you had to like jump over the barricade, then run up to the concession stand and like down a soda or something like that. And I just remember like two things that stood out was A, Skip Sheffield down the soda in literally like less than a second. And I'm pretty sure they weren't even like actually filled with like liquids or anything like that. I think it was just like for show, which I could be wrong. I can't remember, but then like with Daniel Bryan, because they were making fun of him on like the entirety of the show, when he went up there, I just remember specifically, I think it was Michael Cole or something, just saying, yeah, I think, you know, we all know that that's just a diet because Daniel Bryan's lame and can't like drink anything or eat anything normal or something like that, and I just thought that was hilarious. They were just literally making fun of him for drinking like diet Pepsi or whatever. Wait a minute, what the hell? I thought this was there's no disqualification? Or did the ref just not see that? Either way, I'm not risking it, so he should be done after this move. I was just going to let him DQ himself because, I mean, the match was already over anyway. But plus, the original NXT theme was awesome. You got to admit that, folks. Although I remember I seen like a video on like TikTok or Facebook or something like that lately saying like how it was like the music sounded like it was something like some big reality show in like the 90s or something like that, or The Real World or something stupid like that. I thought it was hilarious. But even the first season of NXT, there was a lot of people that did, you know, halfway decent in the end and had some decently long careers in WWE after the fact. I always liked Darren Young with his crazy hair, especially when he got the afro. Too bad they never really did anything with him.
You did a great job again for me last week, Eugene. You made me very, very happy. Do you know what I do for men that make me happy?
Give them presents?
You could say that. And I've got a present you can unwrap later tonight if you'll do me a little favor.
It's not my birthday.
I know, silly, but it's gonna seem that way.
Will there be cake?
No, Eugene,
and ice cream and balloons?
No, that's
and
not.
Pony rides?
Eugene! Listen, Eugene. If you do exactly what I tell you tonight, you're coming back to my hotel room after the show. Do you understand?
But I like my room. It's got all my action figures in it.
Eugene, listen. Edge has a match tonight against your former friend. I'm afraid he's gonna hurt Edge, and then he'll be able to hurt me again.
No.
But you can help Edge. We need you to be the special referee. The extremely special referee.
Referee? Like Dangerous Danny Davis or Earl Hebner's brother Dave?
That's right, Eugene. I know you'll do a great job for me tonight. Now go and get ready. Hurry up.
Holy crap. I thought I was gonna die.
I know.
Well, I guess we'd better get ready for your match, huh, bro?
We?
Yeah, we, as in you and me. Right?
Sorry, bro. Trish and I have some more planning to do.
Keep those belts warm, Christian.
Keep those belts warm, Christian. You're not the only one who can come up with a plan, Trish.
Damn. Christian's over here literally getting cucked. I actually thought that it was Christian who was with Trish Stratus in this storyline, but I guess I was wrong. But also, whoever did the motion capture for Eugene in this game, I mean, they were having you could tell they had a hell of a time. They were having a lot of fun. Maybe it was Eugene himself, because I mean, I think it was usually like the lower card guys, like Stevie Richards. I guess he said he did a lot of motion capture for this game. Like, I think they were the ones who did. Like, obviously, sometimes you get indie wrestlers like Austin Aries and stuff like that. And I just find it fascinating that he was the voice of the character, the Korea character in WWE 12. So it's just an interesting little bit of trivia. But apparently he doesn't have a very good reputation in modern wrestling today. Some people have compared to him to like the Dynamite Kid for, you know, him and Teddy Hart and all this other stuff. You know, those guys, like, they kind of got in their own way with stupidity and egos, and I don't know, some people say they have small man syndrome. I don't know if I entirely believe that with Austin Aries, just from what I heard. Like, some of the stuff he did, like with the Christy Hemme stuff, like, I guess people cheered that on at the time, or like he asked her, you know, if it was cool, and I think she said that it was. I can't remember exactly the details, but a lot of the stuff that people said, like, I seen a video where, like, there was a lot of evidence that said that, like, a lot of the things that people didn't like about him, he was actually told otherwise, you know, to do, or, you know, by management, or, you know, he asked if they was cool first, or, like, people actually liked it at the time or whatever. Like, especially, like, with the John, I don't know what the hell he was called at the time. He just had, like, 40 nicknames based off of John or Johnny. But, when John Morrison hit the shooting star pain or whatever, I think it was called, and pinned him at, like, maybe, like, Lucha Underground or something like that. Can't remember what event it was, but, like, he got up immediately and just left the ring. Apparently he was told to do something like that. But I don't know. I don't know the situation exactly. I'm just reporting pretty much based off of a video I watched years ago, so I don't know. I'll have to check that out again sometime maybe, but I think also in WWE, I think he had, like, a bit of an ego despite being, like, the top guy for the most part in the cruiserweight division when they brought it back in 2018 maybe? Or 2017 or 2016 maybe, I don't know.
I thought I'd pick the winner before the match started, JR.
I think if some of these storyline choices don't make too much of a difference, though, because I think if I were to say, like, oh yeah, essentially, like in my promo at Taboo Tuesday, if I were to say essentially, like, yeah, fuck Eugene, I think I would have just beat him. Like, I think I would have just had to face him in a match, and I think afterwards maybe William Regal would have just said, like, hey, come on, guys, get on the same page here, and that would have been it. It would have just continued the storyline where we're at, but, you know, we're John Cena. We're the ultimate good guy here, even at this time, so we had to go the face route. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, no heel John Cena here for you guys. Although I might turn heel if I can't freaking land a damn move on him. Yeah, that stupid leg drop. No, look at him. Oh my gosh.
You're absolutely right, King. We've
Yeah, right.
There's the reversal.
All right. This match is in our favor now. Maybe not. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll. Match has just started, folks. So just settle down a little bit. All right. It just started. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna be fine. We've taken out the Rated R Superstar many times in the past. Hey, look, Eugene's actually doing his job. I think. I don't know. Feels like 90% of the refs' AI in this game is just to argue with someone, usually over nonsense, and then get in the way of a hit. But I don't know. What's your guys' favorite era of Edge? I gotta ask. Because, you know, there's the Attitude Era, there's the Brood version, right? Who didn't say anything, and he was part of one of the worst promos of all time in wrestling history. I mean, even then, like, even his delivery was bad, and, you know, he said it himself, he was nervous and stuff like that, but... And Gangrel didn't help things either, but, man, he literally said, you know, in a menacing voice, too, it's like, remember to take care or something like that, and be scared, because the creatures of the night come out to play or something like that. Something stupid and just one of the lamest things you have ever heard anybody say. And he said it in like his best evil voice too, and it was just hilarious. Then of course, you know, they had the freaking goofballs in 2000 with that allied themselves with Kurt Angle, and that was a great thing, you know, at the time. You know, I think they had some of the best segments on Raw and SmackDown at that time, if we're being honest. They got a lot of TV time from it, and they were clearly the personality of the tag team division at the time. Then obviously, you know, he won the King of the Ring and branched off by himself, and, you know, he's still a bit of the smart ass. You know, obviously his feud with Kurt Angle was really good, where, you know, he eventually shaved Kurt Angle's head. That was a pretty good time. And obviously they had the whole segment with Kurt Angle looking at the pictures of the two of them together and Kurt Angle's biggest moments. Meanwhile, the camera shows that, like, Edge wrote some insults to Kurt Angle that he couldn't see until after Edge already left. And apparently, another great story that I heard Kurt Angle told it was that in the match where, you know, Kurt Angle got his head shaved, apparently Vince McMahon was saying that Edge was going to be the one who was going to have his head shaved and not Kurt. So Edge was just in a terrible mood the entire time that night, you know, feeling like his head was going to get shaved. And until Kurt Angle told him, like, right at the beginning of the match or right before the match, like, hey, you're actually going to win this, relax. And that's just hilarious to me that, you know, Vince, the head of the company, is even, you know, trolling his own employees like that. And since Edge didn't know he was going to win, he didn't know how to work, you know, the razor or whatever, like, to actually cut his hair. So, like, I guess he was cutting Kurt Angle's hair the wrong way, and Kurt Angle had to yell at him to turn it around. And then obviously we had the Rated R Superstar Edge, and that was definitely the most popular version, and that's one of my, once again, my brother's favorite wrestlers of all time. So let's see if we can put him away. I guess I gotta do a little bit more work on him. And then obviously, like, yeah, you still the Rated R Superstar, but I mean, it started out where he was kind of like the real Rated R Superstar with Lita, and they were doing weird, stupid crap, like weird sexual crap every single week, and you know, the live sex celebration, or like the way when he teamed up with Mick Foley to attack Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk, like he pinned. Jeez, I can't remember her first name, but it was like Tommy Dreamer's wife. Like, her last name was McGillicuddy. I'll always remember that because it's Micah McGillicuddy. But I just remember, like, Edge speared her and pinned her in that match or whatever. I think it was like Lita was involved as well, and like he just pinned her in like the weirdest, like most awkward sexual way. Like he pinned her down in like a missionary position or something like that. It was weird. And honestly, he was very violent at the time as well. I remember the first house show I ever went to was in 2006, and it was still my favorite to this day. Cause, you know, I remember I seen Cena versus Edge, and they had a hardcore match for the WWE title. I seen DX kick the Spirit Squad's ass. It was awesome. Every other house show I went to, it was always SmackDown Superstars. which wasn't bad or anything like that. It's just that like I would have preferred a good mix of it. Plus, like when I started going again with the house shows when I was a kid, I mean, it was when SmackDown was arguably terrible. But I did get to see Rey Mysterio beat Jack Swagger for the world belt.
Eugene, listen to me. That trollop is not your friend. She's using you and turning you into a laughingstock.
Oh, William. You just can't stand to see Eugene happy, can you? He's got friends now. Real friends. And I think it's just sad that you can't be happy for him.
Now listen to me, you vile little slag. Young Master Eugene is a good boy, and the last thing he needs is to be corrupted by the likes of you.
What the hell is...
Oh my gosh, JR!
Christian, what the hell are you doing? You're ruining the plan.
Correction. I'm improving the plan. I call this one Plan C. That limey Regal was trying to ruin everything. But as you can see, he's done now. That's how I roll.
Hallelujah! I think Eugene's finally seen the light.
Oh my gosh! Trish, get out of there! Eugene's gone crazy!
Eugene, stop it! Stop it right now!
Quite frankly, I don't care if you tear each other apart like animals. But you're going to wait until Survivor Series this Sunday to do it. You see, I'm making the World Tag Team title match a ladder match. But that's not all. As extra incentive, Trish Stratus' contract will also be on the line. Whoever wins the match gets the titles and Trish's services for 1 year.
A ladder match certainly favors the champions, Edge and Christian. But having Trish's contract on the line has got to shake their confidence somewhat.
Oh man, JR, I wonder if it's too late to convince William Regal to let me partner with Eugene. Winning Trish would almost be worth it. I'd let Eugene keep both the tag titles.
Stupid son of... Kipper.
Guys!
Dumb mother...
Hold up! Wait! We gotta talk about Survivor Series. You can't roll without me.
Looks like Edge and Trish weren't as excited about Plan C as Christian was.
I think Christian's troubles are only beginning. Look out, Christian!
This is such an awesome storyline. And Eugene really went crazy on freaking Christian there. And Christian's such a jackass in the storyline too, but I don't know. I'm assuming it was because he wanted to impress Trish Stratus after he was jealous between him and Edge, and obviously he was too, you know, he's a moron and he was too stupid to understand how things were going, but I find it funny that, like, once again, like, it was so silly that the Divas were essentially just property, literally property at this time with their managerial services and stuff like that. Trish doesn't even get to have a say on her own contract and what she gets to do, I guess. I mean, even like the small details, like, you know, Eugene trying to revive William Regal in the background is so hilarious and stuff like that. Plus, I mean, you gotta love anytime anybody like goes out of the ring in these motion capture things. I mean, like the way Christian went over, he literally jumped over the top rope willingly, and so like it's so great. But it looks like Christian's gonna be ready. Oh no, here we go. Haha. Should have ended the match, but you know, I get it. Gotta go another 5 minutes. Yeah, to continue on with the Edge era stuff, though, I mean, you had the Radar Superstar thing where he was actually just kind of like sexually nasty in a lot of ways. You had the freaking after that, he had this whole relationship with Vicky Guerrero, and like I know people like were pissed off at that storyline at the time and like saying like the ugly stuff. Yeah, I mean at that time, I mean like she was up for it, so I mean whatever. But at the same time, like I think the concept of Edge, who's like supposed to be this young, hot dude, just marrying like old Vicky Guerrero just for like the power, is just so hilarious to me. And it was some great stuff too. But then obviously we had PG era Edge, where he was kind of mad that he couldn't be the Radar Superstar, and then obviously he ended his career there. And I haven't watched really Edge and any of his new stuff, so I can't really comment on that. But which is your favorite era of Edge, folks? You gotta let me know down below in the comments. Because, you know, he's not my favorite, but he definitely had a lot of really good segments and, you know, character moments, all sorts of stuff. I think it took him, after, like, Edge and Christian split up, it really did take him quite a few years to kind of really figure out his character and how to make it work and stuff like that. It's sad, you know, I mean, obviously Edge had talent, it was for everybody to see. But, you know, good for him, too, but it's sad to see people with, like, you know, who actually do pretty much get over, but management doesn't want to be over or whatever. And, you know, it's sad to see, you know, some people giving more chances than others. I think, though, back in the day, I think Vince seemed like he had a lot more loyalty in general to certain people. Like JBL, for example, right? I mean, that guy had, like, you know, 10 years of potential. You know, like, they pretty much were sticking with him for, like, the longest time. And, like they said, JBL, you know, John Bradshaw Layfield, the character, that was pretty much his last opportunity. If it didn't work out, they're just going to assume it's never going to work out and this or that. And he made the most of it, I think. I love the JBL character. I thought he was pretty hilarious, as I mentioned in a previous episode. But I feel like that kind of sense of loyalty isn't there anymore. Or at least it wasn't. I mean, now Vince isn't even in charge, but I don't know. I think during the Ruthless Aggression era, like halfway through, that's kind of when people started really getting shuffled out quickly before they could even really do anything or make a mark or anything like that. But I mean, even Hardcore Holly, I mean, he never actually got a main event run. But I mean, he was there for like well over 10 years. So I mean, I think there was a little bit of loyalty at the time. At least in my opinion. But I don't know. People have some strong opinions on, you know, old Bobby, Sparky, Pluggy, Holly. But, you know, I don't think I'll probably talk about that another time. Maybe even in another separate video or something like that. Probably when I play, like, do a playthrough with Hardcore Holly or whatever. Because he's definitely a controversial figure in the wrestling community. So, I don't know. I don't think I have enough time to really delve into that or whatever. Plus, I mean, I don't want this video to have negativity surrounding that subject. Man, those guys are freaking fighting for their lives up there. Although sometimes it can be annoying, because I swear, like, I'll punch these guys for like 20 minutes and then like they don't topple over, but then like they hit me once or twice and suddenly I'm just like, whoa, and I fall off the ladder because, you know, I don't know. I don't really know how the damage for that exactly works or how you actually make them groggy, so that's probably what the issue is. And there they go, fighting again. Yeah, pretty much this is every AI ladder match in these games. It's pretty much the AI goes for the freaking, they immediately go for the ladder. They set it up in the middle of the ring and they immediately try and win the match. And if you're in the ring, they'll try and jump off at you. Especially if, you know, like you're standing or whatever, but then like, oh man, he actually hit him. But then like you'll have like goofy stuff like where you just kind of like it's just climbing the ladder over and 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 over again, and it's so silly. But it is pretty entertaining to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Well, it's sometimes really annoying. Like I'm apparently hitting him with that attack, but like I can't hit him with like an actual with anything else. So yeah, the easiest thing to do is just to kind of knock the ladder out of, you know, just kind of like slide it out of the way, essentially. I don't know how the hell Eugene just did that while he was on the ladder, but that was awesome. All right, let's see if I can get Christian. Ah, damn it. Man, Edge calculated that, countered it. Plus, it's really annoying. I think they added it in the next game, especially since they, like, obviously they changed how the whole ladder matches work, how you win it with, like, the meter you have to drain instead. But it is kind of annoying in this game where it seems like instead of just pushing people down and being able to jump off the ladder. Jeez Christ. You all right there, Eugene? Jeez, he's going to be a freaking genius if he had his head. It's going to, like, be a reverse engineering thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. They just try and jump after you. But yeah, it's annoying that you can't just like throw them down when they get dizzy, but you have to go down with them. I don't know. Maybe certain people have different moves, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about now. Like I'm punching Edge like 5 times in a row here, but somehow I'm the one who's. Wait, what? Also, like, if you don't do grapples, like, they'll just hit you every time. So it's like you want to go for a grapple every time. Although now he's kind of kicking my ass. Oh, now I'm back. Jeez Louise. Can we get somewhere with this? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, how do I knock him down? This is what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. I don't want to give up because, like, I don't want to like freaking go down and like he hits me off the ladder or something like that, or he somehow jumps and gets it. I don't think we're in the center enough, but still, you never know. Oh my god, come on. Like, how is he not dizzy at this point? Is it like a specific like move or timing that have to do with this? Oh, come on. Yeah, that was a load of horse crap. Yeah, get him, Eugene. Eugene has some of the most unique movesets in the entirety of the SmackDown series. With the, like, you know, his unique moves, his like variations of like popular moves. Him and The Rock, I think, have like some of the most varied movesets. Like especially Rock from Here Comes the Pain and stuff like that. You know, with his special DT and his taunts and all that sort of stuff. I think they, for whatever reason, I think around this time they started to get rid of that though. But I don't know. It's been a while since I played as The Rock. All right, come on. Ugh. I find it interesting he actually thought he was going to get the title belt at that from all the way over there. God damn it. Yeah, all right. Eugene, see, we got to win here. Although Eugene better start building that stamina back up, because things are not looking, because I don't want to have my AI partner just like losing because he's too stupid to freaking build up his stamina or whatever. Alright. It's tough to, I need Eugene to actually be able to, you know, actually I probably, like, I need Eugene to actually do something so that way I can actually either defend him or, you know, freaking get the thing myself. But I think we got it. I think we got it, fellas. Yes, thank God. Edge is a moron. Outsmarted by Eugene, folks. But yeah, we are the tag team champions. We have retained our, well, we haven't retained it. We technically won them again, but you're going to see we got that one last cutscene before this episode's over, but this is the last of me talking. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on Wrestling Wednesday, but above all else, please remember to have a nice day.
thank you enough for your help, my friend. You certainly showed those punters a thing or two. And now that we've got the titles back, if you don't mind.
William Regal must be crazy if he actually expects him to just hand over the title.
William, the bad.
Here's your title, Regal, as promised. But don't forget the other part of our deal. In exchange for the title, Trish's contract is exclusive to me. She's mine for the next year.
Job done. Small price to pay, really. You can have that silly little tart's contract.
William, you remember Andre the Giant and the $1 Million Man?
Hold it right there. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Seems like even my special nephew knows something you don't. William, remember years ago when Andre the Giant won the world title? He tried to give it to the $1 Million Man, which the WWE commissioner said was illegal.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
The belt was then vacated.
Yes! Bischoff's right! I remember!
Eric, listen.
No, Regal, you listen. Well, I approved a substitute for your title defense when you were injured a few weeks ago. That's not the case this time. Because you three have just passed around a championship indiscriminately without WWE approval, the World Tag Team titles are hereby vacated.
I can't believe it. How could Bischoff just strip the new champions of the tag titles right after they won them? Why would he vacate the titles?
You heard Bischoff, JR. There's a precedent for it. This is one of Bischoff's decisions that I have to agree with.